In a world where every man is a moron and every movie is woke, there came Roadhouse 2024. Hit the like and subscribe. Roadhouse, Conor McGregor, Jake Gyllenhaal. That is what I watched this evening with my wife. So let's get into it. Maybe I should do this review over the fucking top. Maybe I should go crazy. Maybe I should go nuts. Maybe I should go bonkers, wild. I don't know. What should I do over here? Because this man was a complete lunatic in the movie. And when I was scrolling through my comment section, the reviews from my people, the MMA-Holes, I noticed there were a lot of people saying, Conor did a terrible job. The movie is trash. They should have never remade Roadhouse. It's ridiculous. It's a dumpster fire, the whole thing. So I was reluctant. As I watched this movie, I said to myself, please, for the love of God, be somewhat enjoyable. So me and my wife sat there and we watched Roadhouse. Jake Gyllenhaal took the role as Elwood Dalton. A lot of people were a little worried about him taking over the role because you had big shoes to fill from the original. The original being a classic, the original being something people love and they feel should never be touched. A lot of movies should never be touched. Why are we remaking things when you have so many things you could still do in this world, right? Or maybe we're just running out of ideas. So when I sat down and watched this movie with the wife, I said to myself, okay, brace yourself. This could be a complete pile of cringe. My bookie, promo code MMA-HOLES for 10% match on your first deposit. Roadhouse started off with this man over here. He's fighting in underground things. He's going a little wild in the head. Things aren't going well for him. He finds this bar. Elwood Dalton is going to be protecting this bar. There are similarities to the original. There are pluses and there are minuses to this movie. You can't watch this movie thinking that this is going to be a complete masterpiece, that this is going to blow your mind. It's going to knock your socks off. That is not what Roadhouse is. What Roadhouse is a bro flick. That's it. And if you're a female, you want to see guys with their shirts off. That's what you're there for. You want to see the muscles glistening, the steroids flowing through the veins. That's what you want to see in Roadhouse. You get that as well. So check. The boys are happy. The girls are happy over here. Testosterone driven from beginning to the end. That's what you want, right? Well, maybe not so. The beginning of the movie for me was a little slow. I'm not going to lie. Like, I was just like, all right, I saw that in the trailer. Anything a little bit exciting, I saw that in the trailer. Actually, I got to be honest with you. Seeing the trailers kind of ruins the entire movie. Is this a movie that's going to surprise you? No. Don't go into it thinking there's going to be big twists where you're going to be like, oh my God, I didn't see that one coming. You're not going to be seeing that. What you're going to be seeing is people getting punched in the face and thrown through tables. That's what you're going to be seeing. The pluses of the movie, it gave you the action. It gave you the violence. It gave you some fun villains. By the way, the villain in the beginning of the movie is very confusing. You didn't know who the hell the villain was. And then by the end of the movie, you're like, I think that's the villain. I'm pretty sure this is the way they want to go. Or is it that guy? I didn't know. There were jokes throughout this thing. It was goofy. It was campy. And you kind of forgave them for things that it was lacking. So for me to completely just crap on this movie, rip it apart, criticize it, it would be unfair for what it was trying to do. It was very self-aware. The movie from beginning to end was so enjoyable because I went into it with the mindset of this is a goofy, campy movie. If I went into this thinking, okay, this is going to be a serious masterpiece, I would have hated this movie, but I didn't. I went in with the open mind of that. And that's how I urge you to do that if you're going to consume this movie. The negatives of the movie. Conor McGregor, when he spoke, it just felt like it was dubbed over, like something sounded weird with his voice where it didn't seem normal when he was talking.
Hey, fellas.
And it was a little off-putting, but then as the movie was going on, you kind of forgot about that. You didn't really think about that. Another negative, and it has to do with Conor McGregor, is he shows up halfway through. Now, this is not really a spoiler. It doesn't like ruin the movie or anything like that. But the fact that he did show up halfway through was jarring because when he came into the movie got drastically better. I can't even believe I'm saying this. I just did a video about Conor McGregor, how everything's falling apart for the guy. I owe that man an apology because that man may never fight in the UFC again. But let me just say this. Conor McGregor has a bright future as an action star. Not the best actor in the world, but think about this. Arnold Schwarzenegger was a bodybuilder. When he got into the whole Conan thing and he was making movies, a horrific actor was Arnold Schwarzenegger. And what did he turn out to be? One of the biggest action stars on the planet. This guy in this movie was so over the top, yet charismatic enough to fill the shoes of Knox that I forgot that he was a bad actor. It was so much fun. In fact, the movie got drastically better when he showed up. As soon as Conor McGregor showed up, I was in. I was like, you know what? This is fucking hilarious. There were moments in this movie, even the beginning moment where he shows up is such a funny scene. His lines as he's fighting and he's causing trouble and this and that. I'm telling you, this character stole the show. And by them casting Conor McGregor to be in this movie was the smartest thing they could have ever done, because the buzz that Roadhouse is getting is crazy because this guy's in the movie. Everyone's inquiring about it. Everyone's talking about it. And people that seen the movie are saying this is a shit show or very enjoyable. And a lot of people are saying this is a shit show, but it doesn't matter. People are talking about it, right? And it's all over the interwebs. And it's the reason why I wanted to watch this, because everyone is chatting about this. And I wanted to see what this guy could do over here. He did great. Now, I don't know what was up with the voice thing. I have no idea. The movie got way better when he was in it. It's not because I'm a Conor McGregor dick rider. Go check out my last video when I was shitting on him. I'm a fair man, and I could be fair and say, hey, I thought differently. I didn't think you were going to be very good in this movie. He was good. He stole the show. He made the movie enjoyable. If this character, Knox, was not in the movie, Roadhouse would not have been good. I'm sorry. It wouldn't have been enjoyable. Jake Gyllenhaal did a great job as the character, and as it progressed, I started believing him as the character. In the beginning, I still saw Jake Gyllenhaal because it was a goofy, campy movie. I still saw Bubble Boy. But when Conor showed up, he threw everything off, and when he popped in the first scene, everything changed. Everything changed. I was laughing my ass off throughout the movie. This guy made me laugh even more. He was fantastic in this. It was over the top. It was crazy. Listen, it's fun. It's for the boys. Just get the boys together, watch this movie. It's full of testosterone. It's what we need these days. We need this kind of movie in 2024, and I am happy that they made Roadhouse because I enjoyed it very much. Now, another negative I can throw out there is the fight scenes. I kind of wish that it was like the old Roadhouse. I wouldn't have minded if the fight scenes were cheesy and 80s style and you could see the punches missing. I wouldn't have minded it. I wouldn't have, because the movie was so goofy and over the top. If it looked like WWE, I would have been fine with that. But in this movie, they took risks, and there was like close-ups and zooms and pan-arounds, and they were speeding up the film. It was weird. There were moments that were weird. I like the risks, but it did feel too CGI, and it kind of removed you from the moment. So if there was a negative, it would be that. Watching that kind of threw me off. Now, my wife, on the other hand, she loved every bit of this movie. She had zero complaints. She loved it from the beginning all the way to the end. She thought it was phenomenal. I couldn't even believe it when I saw it because she's kind of tough on movies. She looked at me. She's like, I just loved it. I thought it was a blast. So I have criticisms, but I did enjoy the movie tremendously. And the way this movie wraps up, no spoilers, but there will be sequels because I know this movie will do well. And it's a shame that they did not release this in theaters. I can't believe they didn't release Roadhouse in theaters because this movie is built for the theater. I know they did some screenings. I bet you guys enjoyed that. And if they do a sequel, they better make damn sure that they're putting this in the movie theaters because that's where this movie belongs. I enjoyed it at home. I would have enjoyed it way more in the theater. So I want to ask you, the people, what do you think? Are you going to roast me now because I enjoyed Roadhouse? And to the people that were criticizing Roadhouse, what is wrong with you? Why are you roasting this man? It's his first acting gig, and he literally stole the show. I bet the Conor McGregor haters out there are really upset about this movie, and it makes me happy.